Chicken Cop, written by Bryan Cahill. Fade in. Exterior, Montreal Animal Police Training Field, day. Cadets including beaver, deer, wolves, etc. prepare to run an obstacle course. Charles Poulet, a young, thin, and pale rooster, scans the course as Drake, a duck, crashes into a blocking sled. Charles and the other cadets wince.
Don't worry, Drake. You'll be back in no time. You have insurance?
Drake shakes his head as EMTs carry him away.
My back.
Sounds like Affleck.
Hang in there, buddy. Not good. Okay, Charles. Concentrate.
Charles runs in place as if he's running through the tires.
First up, the tires.
He reaches for a hamstring.
Gotta stretch those hammies out.
He spreads his legs wide, bends down, and reaches between them, only to be face to face with Dimples, a lemming. From Charles' perspective, she is upside down.
Whoa!
Hi, Charles. Didn't mean to startle you. I'll just go.
As Dimples turns,
It's okay, Anne. What's up?
Well, you're so good at the classwork. I was wondering if you would...
Sure, glad to help. Just wish I was good at this stuff.
gestures to the obstacle course.
You have to believe. That's what I do. Now, I'll just let you get back to whatever that is.
She exits. Charles's back creaks as he stands straight up, staring into the face of Howard Grimes, a pig. Grimes holds his dress uniform out. It has a large stain across the shirt.
Hey Charles, would you help me get the stain out, seeing as you're such a neat freak and all?
Neat freak? I might be able to help, but I'm really more germaphobe. You might even say I got 6 cents when it comes to...
Oh look, it's Fritz Blitzkrieg.
Fritz Blitzkrieg, a heavily muscled, handsome German shepherd, signs autographs for other cadets nearby. Grimes joins the crowd. Charles gets back to his imagery.
All right then, the blocking sled.
He grimaces as he pushes an imaginary sled, then strides over an invisible hurdle.
And the hurdle where...
There you fall on your beak.
Exterior, obstacle course, day, flashback. Charles trips on the hurdle, crashes over and over. Exterior, Montreal Animal Police Training Field, continuous. Fritz finishes autographing the stain on Grimes' uniform with a flourish. Charles is deflated.
It says, to the swine, see you on the force. Fritz actually thinks I'm going to graduate.
Grimes hugs his uniform.
That's great, Howard.
If I crush his puny dreams.
Wait, what?
Exterior obstacle course, continuous. By the starting line, Lieutenant Gary Moss, a moose, and Sergeant Jimmy Diamond, a tortoise, look over the recruits. Jimmy holds a clipboard with a stopwatch and whistle around his neck.
It's going to take some heavy lifting to make police officers out of this bunch, Lieutenant.
Yep, and Police Chief Talon is coming to inspect the recruits.
Today?
I hate the way he just seems to pop up out of nowhere. Gives me the heebie-jeebies.
I know what you mean.
Are the cadets ready, Lieutenant Moss?
Perched on one of Lieutenant Moss's antlers is Police Chief Talon, a snowy owl.
Ah!
Moss and Diamond recover.
I mean, yes, sir. Good morning, Chief Talon.
Let's see what you've got.
Line up.
Interior, secret laboratory, simultaneous. In a converted, nondescript warehouse, Professor Venal, a rat, stands over a microscope and holds a dropper over 2 petri dishes. Bubbling vats line the walls. Classical music emanates from an old-school phonograph.
Time for lunch, Nikolai.
Through the microscope, Venal looks into one of the petri dishes. In the dish, greatly magnified, is Nikolai Ludwig bacteria, an E. coli bacteria. Tiny, capsule-shaped, and green with wavy hair. He conducts genetic clone E. coli who sing off-key. All the bacteria have a mole in their right cheeks.
We will resume after our repast.
The bacteria line up with plates and tie napkins around their necks. There are 3 variations of the Nikolai amongst the bacteria. Bacteria A, a thin version. Bacteria B, a short-balled Nikolai. Bacteria C, a dim-witted version of Nikolai. Venal dons rubber gloves and goggles.
Now your turn, Victor.
Venal stands back at full arm's length and empties the dropper with one big squirt into another petri dish. Inside the dish is Victor Tinea, a fungus who resembles Mr. Mucus from the Mucinex ads, only with red skin and bright green eyes. Victor and duplicate clone fungi fight over the food as lions on a kill. The bacteria look on in disgust.
I think we're going to retch.
It is your conducting that makes us want to upchuck. Our farts are more melodious.
A fungus farts.
In time, you will be forgotten while we, Nikolai, Ludwig, bacteria make history. First Canada, then world.
Nikolai turns away and begins conducting the off-key bacteria. The fungi stuff food in their ears.
Nice catchphrase, bacteria. But it is us fungus who will make the world tremble.
Exterior obstacle course simultaneous. Some cadets run the course in pairs, others have finished and offer encouragement. The last 4 cadets await their turns. First up are Grimes and Dimples, then Charles and Fritz.
Finish the course in under a minute or you don't graduate.
I'm gonna need some extra energy.
Grimes pulls out a melted chocolate bar and eats.
No food on the course, Grimes.
Grimes shrugs and throws the half-eaten melty chocolate bar over his shoulder. It splats Charles in the chest.
Germs!
Jimmy blows the whistle. Grimes and Dimples start the course. Charles pulls out a handkerchief and hand sanitizer to wipe off the chocolate.
Oh man, why do I have to be behind Grimes? Just stay positive. You can do this.
Fritz laughs cynically as he limbers up beside Charles.
It is only fitting that we go last. You should have an excellent view as I, Fitz Blitzkrieg, crush your papa's record.
A plaque on the scaling wall reads, course record, Henri Poulet, 42 seconds. In the tires, chocolate drips from Grimes as he eats another candy bar and runs upright with the tires stuck behind each hind leg. Dimples hops from the center of the one tire to the next.
So hot.
Grimes pushes the blocking sled. Dimples rides on his back.
I got your back.
Huh?
On the starting line, Charles sweats profusely.
Just relax, Charlie. One step at a time. Even Henri didn't start out as hero of Griffintown.
Exterior building, night, montage, flashback. Henri carries a tiger cub from a burning building. Interior police headquarters, day, montage, flashback. Henri receives a medal as young Charles looks on. Exterior bank, day, montage, flashback. Henri tackles a bank robber. Interior police headquarters, day, montage, flashback. Henri receives another medal as teenage Charles looks on. Exterior warehouse, night, montage, flashback. Henri runs into a warehouse. The building explodes. Exterior memorial service, day, montage, flashback. Young adult Charles sits with his mother, Mirabelle Poulet, a demure hen, at a memorial service for Henri. Chief Talon gives a eulogy next to a portrait of Henri. Exterior obstacle course continuous.
I know, Uncle Jimmy. I mean, Sergeant Diamond, I just don't think I can live up to that.
That's just it, Charlie. You think too much. You're the smartest cadet here, but a cop sometimes has to let his animal instincts take over. Got it?
Yes, sir.
When I blow this whistle, just fly like the wind.
Right. What kind of wind?
What? Just a big, strong wind.
I mean, is it a Chinook? A Santa Ana? Or maybe a Zephyr?
Sure, Charlie, a zephyr. But I think you're missing the point.
And like the Zephyr wind, I will blow your little chicken away.
What did you call me?
Jimmy raises his hand.
Ready?
Fritz flaps his arms.
I called you chicken, chicken!
I am a rooster!
Jimmy blows the whistle and they're off. Charles crows as he blasts down the course. A rooster possessed. Surprised, Fritz gives chase. Jimmy and Moss share a too-good-to-be-true look as Charles flies through the tires.
What got into Poulet?
Seems like he got his feathers ruffled when...
Chief Talon approaches.
That's Henri's boy. Looks like he has a little of the old man in him.
Moss whispers to Jimmy.
Very little.
Dimples and Grimes reach the hurdles. Grimes crashes through. Dimples looks up. The top of the hurdle looks miles away.
Right.
Dimples jumps again, and again her little lemming body barely leaving the ground with each effort. Charles passes Dimples as he runs through the smashed hurdles.
Gotta fly!
Charles?
Fritz reaches the hurdle. Dimple jumps.
With the vertically challenged rodent like a pop-up.
Thanks, Fritz.
Fritz tosses Dimples over his shoulder.
Oops.
Hey!
Time to catch that chicken.
Jimmy checks the stopwatch.
Poulet's ahead of the course record.
Grimes grabs the rope swing to get over a large mud puddle. His entire body is covered in chocolate and sweat. Holding the rope, Grimes tiptoes across the mud and leaves the rope covered in filth as Charles approaches. The oozing rope brings Charles back to reality.
Germs!
He pulls out the hand sanitizer and a new handkerchief.
What is he doing?
Charlie, forget about the chocolate, just go!
Charles has the rope smothered in hand sanitizer.
I'll have this cleaned up in a jiffy. Still have time to.
He bends over and sets the sanitizer down. Fritz leaps over him at great speed and grabs the rope.
Who is the Zephyr now?
The rope slips through Fritz's paws and sends him soaring.
Definitely you.
Fritz flaps his legs feebly, attempting to control his flight.
Oh no.
At the scaling wall, Grimes hangs on a rope inches off the ground. Fritz crashes through the wall and lands just short of the finish line. Grimes squeezes through the hole left by Fritz, tramples him, and crosses the line.
Mama.
Fritz was right. I'm gonna make it.
Dimples runs through the hole and past Fritz.
Need a pop, Fritz?
Grimes and Dimples high five.
Great job, you guys.
Thanks, Charles.
Jimmy and Lieutenant Moss shake their heads.
It was going so well. Too bad.
Lightning flashes and rain begins to pour down.
Everybody inside!
Everyone except Charles runs for cover. Alone, Charles stares at the rope swing, pondering what went wrong. Interior, secret laboratory, night. On a stormy night, Victor and the fungi get their petri dish up on its side and begin to roll it. Nikolai conducts the bacteria unaware. Professor Venal reads Fauna magazine. The cover has a picture of the sable with the caption, Rory Beauchamp, world's most handsome mammal.
Steady, boys. It is us who will be Venal's favorite bug after we eliminate the bacteria.
They aim for a bottle of bleach between them and the petri dish holding the bacteria.
Ramming speed!
The fungi ram into the bleach, knocking it over towards the bacteria. Nikolai and all the bacteria look up.
Ah!
The bleach hits the microscope, which deflects all but one drop away from the petri dish. The drop lands on a bacteria, killing it instantly.
Rats!
You'll pay for this, cretins. You're just jealous because we have culture, and Venal makes us better.
The only culture you have is the one you're standing in.
Yeah, the culture you're standing in.
The bacteria stand in goopy agar. The fungi laugh.
I'll have you cryogenically frozen.
What is all this? Victor, behave yourselves or I will terminate your strain.
General Malaise, a badger, bursts through the lab door with 4 henchmen, all wolves.
General Malaise, is there a security breach?
Calm yourself, Professor Venal. I would want you to blow up another lab.
That might not be necessary. Have you done your job?
Watch your tone with me, Venal. I'm here to get an update for your benefactor on your very expensive program.
Right. Well, as you know, the goal here is to engineer superbugs. Bugs so virulent as to never have been previously imagined.
Cut to the chase.
I have made significant advances in weaponizing 2 microbes. Through the microscope, you can see the subjects have become sentient.
Sentient?
Yes, sentience is the capacity to feel, perceive, or experience subjectively. They are self-aware and can make their own decisions.
Can you control them?
Professor Venal sounds less sure of himself.
Of course, I am their creator.
Venal gestures to the petri dishes.
On the left is experiment number 227, or Nikolai, as I prefer to call them, a strain of E. coli bacteria that has the ability to shape-shift.
Venal gestures around the room.
There are billions of them growing in the vats around you.
Billions, huh? What's it do?
There are many forms of E. coli, some are beneficial, others can cause a terrible tummy ache.
Malaise focuses the microscope. The image through the scope goes from fuzzy to clear. In the dish, Nikolai and the other bacteria shake their fists and yell towards the fungi.
We're not getting paid for tummy aches.
No, of course not. It's their ability to shapeshift
What
that.
else you got?
Professor Venal gestures to the other dish.
Experiment number 368, or Victor, is a vicious fungus I found in Siberia. They show great potential.
The fungi shake their fists and yell at the bacteria.
They look like they want to kill each other. A fungus, you say?
Yes, Tinea corporis.
Malaise reaches toward Victor and the fungi.
Not too close, General. It causes a nasty case of ringworm and can control the mind of the infected.
Ringworm? Where's the anthrax or Ebola?
Malaise slams the table with his fist. The petri dish containing the fungi flips in the air, splashing on Malaise. Red rings begin to appear on his body. A lightning flash illuminates his face, revealing Victor's green eyes.
Victor!
Burn down the lab!
What? You can't?
Destroy everything!
Leave no evidence behind.
You're a fool.
Venal runs away.
Das Vidania, Nikolai!
Poulet exits.
Run!
The bacteria scramble out of the petri dish and down the leg of the table as the wolves set the lab ablaze. The bacteria run across the floor, dodging burning timbers and broken glass as they fall to the ground.
Look out!
The bacteria reach one of the vats, climb up the side, and open the lid.
Everybody out!
The bacteria escape as all the vats ignite.
What now?
Now we do what we've been engineered to do.
Bacteria group together and begin to take the shape of a wolf as the lab goes up in flames. Interior, Poulet's apartment, night. Charles, soaked through, enters a small studio apartment and flips on a light. In front of him, a shrine made for Henri, the portrait of from the memorial, medals, and news clippings. He touches a medal.
Tough day?
In a goldfish bowl, on a table next to a reclining chair, swims Guppy, a fancy goldfish with bulging eyes.
Oh, I think maybe I don't have what it takes to be a cop, Guppy.
Don't worry about it, Chuck. You always manage to get the job done one way or another. Remember the neighbor's cat?
Interior, Poulet's apartment, night, flashback. Charles performs the Heimlich maneuver on a cat. Guppy shoots out of the cat's mouth and lands in his bowl. He winks at Charles and gives him a thumbs up. Interior, Poulet's apartment, continuous.
Yeah, Guppy, I remember.
I'll figure this one out too. How about some dinner?
You're right. I could use something to eat.
I wasn't talking about you. I'm starving here. So make you with the flaky, and while you're at it, flip on the Canucks game.
Charles sprinkles food while he presses buttons on a remote. Exterior, secret lab, night. 3 wolves exit the inferno, joined by a 4th with a mole on his right cheek and carrying the phonograph under his arm. He slips into the darkness, revealing a wolf that has been gagged, bound, and dragged to safety. Exterior, obstacle course, dream. Charles trips on a hurdle over and over and over. Interior, Poulet's apartment, night. Charles bolts up from a bad dream. He checks the clock. 3 a.m. Behind the clock looms the shrine to Henri.
Good night, Dad.
Interior, basement apartment, morning. A slovenly old badger opens the front door and leads wolf Nikolai in. He still carries the phonograph under his arm. The cracked walls are bare except for water seeping from above. A cot, beat-up couch, card table, and vegetable crates for chairs are the only furnishings.
From this humble abode, we shall rise like the phoenix.
Phoenix is a couple thousand miles to the southwest. Pay the rent on time, wolf, and no questions asked. Capiche?
Capiche?
Interior, Police Academy classroom day. Sergeant Diamond lectures in front of the class of recruits. Charles and Dimples are in the front row. Fritz wears a neck brace. Written on the top of the board is crime scenes, evidence, and forensics.
That is correct, Charles. Step 1 is to proceed safely to the crime scene. Who can tell me step 2?
Take down anyone who looks suspicious.
Does anyone have an answer that won't end in a justifiable lawsuit?
Dimples looks to Charles. He nods.
Step number 2. Determine the need for emergency medical services and aid any injured creatures.
That's right.
Dimples smiles at Charles. He gives her a thumbs up.
Step 3?
Dimples and Charles raise their hands.
Anyone else?
The other cadets avoid eye contact. Jimmy scowls.
Final exams are in a week. The rest of you better pick up your games if you expect to graduate.
Interior, hallway, moments later. Charles exits with Dimples.
Thanks, Charles. You're a great teacher.
You think? I wonder if any of the other cadets would like some help.
The rest of the class surrounds him.
Yes.
Interior, basement apartment, day. Nikolai, most of the other bacteria in their natural form, spread out over help wanted ads in the newspaper. Bacteria C reads the comics.
None of these jobs is fitting of our skill set, nor do they pay enough to purchase the equipment we need to regenerate ourselves.
Bacteria A stands atop an ad from Lautrec University.
Perhaps we can find lab equipment at the university?
Brilliant! Tonight we shall venture forth to the university and begin our life of crime.
Then, tomorrow we will seek out a humbling day job for cover and pocket change.
Agreed.
Interior, Charles' apartment, night. Cadets pack the floor in front of the dry erase board propped on an easel. Under the headline, Proper Use of Non-Lethal Force, Charles completes a picture of an out-of-control grizzly bear being tased by a uniformed groundhog.
Any questions?
All the cadets raise their hands.
I think we need a field trip.
Interior, Lautrec University Science Classroom, night. Nikolai, dressed in trench coat and transformed into the wolf, grabs flasks, beakers, tubing, etc. and tosses them in a bag. Exterior, University Frat House, night. A loud, crazy party is underway. Frat boys play with a football on a front lawn. Charles lectures as the other cadets observe.
There are numerous noise ordinance violations occurring here that law enforcement can use to break up a rowdy party.
Behind Charles, Nikolai tries to be inconspicuous as he slips through the crowd.
Look out.
The football hits Nikolai in the head and knocks him off his feet. Charles turns and helps him up.
Are you all right?
Nikolai realizes he is surrounded by police cadets.
Yes. Now I really must be going.
Charles looks at the wing he used to help Nikolai up. It is coated with slime. Charles gets a shiver. Exterior, Earth, billions of years ago. Like a scene from Altered States, Charles has a vision of primordial ooze where the inanimate becomes animate. Billions of E. coli cells rapidly divide. Exterior, University Frat House continuous. The cadets circle Nikolai. Charles stares at his wing.
You may need medical treatment.
Nikolai throws his bag over his shoulder and starts off.
No, I'm fine.
Wait!
Nikolai freezes in his tracks. Grimes holds up a beaker.
You drop this.
Nikolai grabs the beaker and prepares to run as Charles snaps out of his trance. Charles pulls out his hand sanitizer and squirts it onto his slimy wig. Nikolai shudders.
No.
Charles rubs the sanitizer into his wings. Dozens of tiny screams, too quiet for anyone to hear over the party, rise from the slimed wing.
You will pay for that, you creep.
He runs as the police arrive to break up the party.
That was weird.
Exterior, park, day. Charles cuffs Grimes while stating his rights.
Anything you say can be used in court as evidence. Do you understand?
Grimes nods, pulls back to reveal the other cadets also nod.
I think you've got it.
Interior, Bonaparte Elementary, admin office, day. Ms. Springer, a bunny, works at her desk.
The new disguise is conspicuous.
Our cover was blown last night, and this was all I could think of.
Excuse
She looks up and is mesmerized.
me, oh my.
I'm here to apply for the opening.
One of Ms. Springer's feet begins to thump on the floor. Interior, Principal Tashi's office moments later. From behind her desk, Principal Tashi, a yak, looks over Nikolai's resume. Opposite her is a sable who looks surprisingly like Rory Beauchamp, only with a mole on his right cheek.
The Moscow Conservatory, the Sorbonne. You're clearly very handsome, qualified. Why do you want to teach at Bonaparte Elementary, Mr. Bacteria?
Please, call us Maestro. We're looking for a place we can fly under the radar while we contemplate our masterwork. We call it world domination.
Interesting. You will be teaching music theory to children. How do you feel about them?
Nikolai covers.
We love them, of course. Why else would we be out this way, insignificant institution, if not for our love of children?
Principal Tashi seems skeptical.
Yeah. You can start right away? My substitute is just about to crack.
Immediately.
Let's get something straight. I won't check these references until the end of the semester as long as you agree to stay for the term.
Agreed.
Good. Time to meet your students.
Principal Tashi opens the door. Ms. Springer, who has been listening at the other side, falls through.
Control yourself, Miss Springer.
Interior, Police Academy classroom, day. Charles stands in front of the nervous class.
You've all worked really hard and covered everything you need to know. Just relax. You're all ready.
Take your seats.
Sergeant Diamond enters and passes out exams.
This is your final exam. Results of this and all required elements for graduation will be posted in the hallway tomorrow. You may begin.
Cadets open their exams. Interior, Bonaparte Elementary hallway, day. Principal Tashi and Nikolai arrive outside of the music room. A cacophony emanates into the hall.
Does that sound bad?
Principal Tashi laughs.
And I didn't think you had a sense of humor.
She opens the door and a French horn flies out. Interior, music class, continuous. Mayhem. Young animals hit each other with instruments, use violins as bows and arrows, etc.
Your relief is here, Miss Simeon.
Ms. Simeon, a chimpanzee, runs out of the room screaming.
Good luck.
Principal Tashi quickly exits. All eyes turn toward Nikolai.
Hello, children.
Get in.
Interior, Sergeant Diamond's office, night. Jimmy corrects finals when a crashing noise outside gets his attention. From his window, Jimmy watches as Charles trips on a hurdle as he practices the obstacle course by moonlight. Interior, Police Academy, hallway, day. Cadets anxiously check the board to see if they will graduate. Charles scans the board, smiles, and slips away. The board shows that Grimes, Dimples, and many others have completed all requirements. A few, including Fritz and Charles, still need to pass the obstacle course.
I passed! I'm going to be a cop!
Me too.
They high-five.
I think you'll make fine officers.
Thanks, Sergeant Diamond.
Couldn't have done it without you.
Just doing my job. You know, one of the most important parts of police work is looking out for each other. One cadet really took that to heart, and he might not even make the course.
You're right.
I would do anything to help Charles.
There might be something. Tomorrow is the last chance cadets are going to get to pass the obstacle course. So when Charles hits the obstacle course, I need you and the other cadets to...
Interior, Mirabelle's Poulet house, night. Charles visits his mother, Mirabelle Poulet. She sets a cup of tea in front of him.
Me? Prime Minister? Really, Mom?
Why not? You're more handsome than Justin Sparrow.
You know Poulet men have been police officers for generations. I want to follow in their footsteps, make Dad proud.
Henri was proud of you, and he believed you could be great at whatever you set your mind on. I believe it too.
I want to help people. It's something I'm good at, and it makes me feel good, you know?
In that way, you and Henri are very much alike. I just want you to be happy.
Right now, I'll be happy if I can just figure out how to get through the obstacle course tomorrow.
Exterior, obstacle course, morning. The training field is empty except for Jimmy, Fritz, Charles, and an ace. They gather at the starting line.
Fritz, you have your doctor's release?
Fritz hands Jimmy a document.
Never felt better.
You each have one more chance to complete the obstacle course on time. Fritz and Ace are up.
Say goodbye to Papa's record.
Jimmy blows his whistle. Fritz is off like a bullet. Through the tires and blocking sled and the hurdles, he belts out a Tarzan yodel on a rope swing and finally over the scaling wall and across the finish. Jimmy reads his watch. 40 seconds.
New course record.
Fritz performs a horrible victory dance. Pulls out a pen and writes his name over Henri's on the plaque.
Oh yeah, that's right. Fitz is the schnitzel.
I can't look anymore.
Jimmy looks down. Ace is still mid-first step.
Sorry, Ace.
Darn.
You're up, Charles.
I think I might become a teacher or a forest ranger.
Living in the forest would mess with your allergies. And anything else would just be a cop-out. Or are you just too chicken to try?
All of the other recruits, including Dimples and Grimes, approach, forming a ring around the obstacle course.
Chicken? I expect that from other people, but from you?
Well, are you?
No!
As the cadets settle, they begin to chant.
Chicken. Chicken. Chicken.
Fritz stops his revelry.
Oh, we are ridiculing the chicken. I'm down with that.
Fritz joins in.
Chicken, chicken, chicken.
I am not a chicken! I am a rooster!
Jimmy blows his whistle. Charles is off like the Roadrunner. He sets the tires ablaze, pulverizes the blocking sled, clears 2 hurdles in one leap, flips across the mud pit, landing on his feet, then vaults the scaling wall and the finish line. Jimmy's watch reads 38 seconds.
New course record!
Charles lets out a big crow. The cadets pick him up and carry him off the course. Their chant changed.
Charles.
Charles regains his senses.
Did that just happen?
Sure did.
Can I have your autograph?
Fritz stares at the plaque as Jimmy approaches.
You had the record for a minute. That's more than most can say. But you still have a lot to learn about being a good police officer.
Jimmy turns to leave.
Now clean that plaque before I cite you for defacing police property.
Fritz takes out a hanky and wipes his name off the plaque. Interior, hallway outside Nikolai's apartment, night. Nikolai arrives at his meager apartment, bedraggled from a day of teaching. A lollipop sticks to his fur. On the front page of the newspaper on his doorstep is a large picture of a grinning General Malaise. The headline reads, General Malaise annexes Vancouver. Renames it Malaysia.
This is just too much.
Interior, Nikolai's apartment, night. Nikolai and all the bacteria hold a meeting on top of the front page of the newspaper. Lab equipment bubbles on the card table.
Victor, the students, and most of all, the dirty bird must pay for the way they have treated us.
Bretons,
Revenge. We will be victorious.
Yes. Yes, we will.
The doorbell rings.
Pizza!
The bacteria turn back into a sable. Nikolai opens the door. A python with a crushed pizza box awaits in the doorway.
You ordered a pizza? $20.
The box is crushed.
Python rises high, looming ominously above Nikolai.
Would you like to file a complaint with my boss?
Nikolai nervously feels around his pockets.
No, we're sure it's fine, but we seem to have misplaced our wallet.
Nikolai turns away from the python as he scans the apartment for his wallet. He has no tail.
Perhaps it is with your tail.
What are you talking about?
The python nods toward the couch where Nikolai's tail waves at him and points to his wallet on the sofa.
Excuse me a moment.
He shuts the door.
Tail, get your act together.
We're on break.
Break ends when the doorbell rings. You know that. We must not bring attention to ourselves. Now, get over here. Bring the wallet.
What a grouch. He is not the boss of me. Who cares? I'm hungry.
Tail slinks over with the wallet and attaches itself.
That's better.
Nikolai opens the door and throws a bill toward the python.
I hope you weren't expecting a tip.
He picks up the crushed box and slams the door.
We need money to carry out our plans. Copious sum of money.
Exterior, Montreal Animal Police Training Field, day. All the graduating cadets stand on a platform behind Chief Talon and Charles. Chief Talon pins a badge on Charles.
And finally, I would like to present you with our valedictorian, Charles Poulet, a fourth-generation Montreal Animal Police officer.
Charles gets a standing ovation. Chief Talon shakes his wing.
Henri would have been proud.
Thank you. And thanks to all my instructors and fellow cadets. I could not have done it without you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present you the newest members of the Montreal Animal Police Department.
Exterior, Montreal Animal Police Training Field, moments later. Graduates mill about with their families. Charles chats with Mirabelle as Jimmy approaches.
It's good to see you, Jimmy.
Good to see you too, Mirabelle.
Charles told me about your unusual motivational techniques. Would you two like a minute?
Thanks.
Mirabelle exits.
I hear you're assigned to Griffintown.
That's right.
Who knows? After a while, you may decide police work isn't for you. And that'd be okay. Just wanted to make sure the choice was yours.
I know. Thanks for that push on the obstacle course.
Oh, speaking of which, we need to schedule another ceremony.
Jimmy pulls out a plaque that reads, course record, Charles Poulet, 38 seconds.
Would it be okay if the one that's there stays up for a little longer?
Just let me know when you're ready.
Charles nods. Fade out.